The best thing about any Doom game is your arsenal. However, Doom Eternal presents a particularly refined and polished collection of weapons that allow you to express yourself through glorious violence against the armies of the underworld. In today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the plasma rifle specifically and talking about what I think of this weapon and how I use it in my gameplay.
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another carrotscraps video, and by another, I mean the 68th. So this is a new type of video for my channel, and I intend to do more, but I just want to say it's going to be way more relaxed than my other videos. I'm not a professional Doom player, I'm not super versed in the way that people play. I'm just someone who loves the game and is slowly starting to wonder if it might be one of my favorite video games ever made. At this point, I've played the campaign 4 times, and I'm playing for my 5th and 6th time simultaneously on 2 separate consoles. And as pitiful as it is, I recently graduated from my Hurt Me Plenty difficulty to my Ultra Violence difficulty. So this isn't going to be a detailed tech video or a well thought out strategy guide. Full disclosure, this is going to be me talking about a weapon that I love and what I like to do with it. Things that I've noticed about my gameplay when using the weapon, and the reasons that I use it. I'm making this video for fun, and I hope it's entertaining or useful in some way. Anyway, let's talk about the plasma rifle. So for a long time, I didn't use the plasma rifle at all. In the original Doom games, in 2016, and especially in Doom Eternal. But when I first started using the plasma rifle in Doom Eternal, I basically would use it as backup for the heavy cannon. So many of the weapons in Doom Eternal are so powerful that you can delete fodder enemies by accident. Of course, you need those fodder enemies for resources and glory kills, so when I'd run out of heavy cannon ammo, I'd switch to my plasma rifle, and that would hopefully get me a quick glory kill. Now, as of recording this video, I've found way more useful applications of the plasma rifle, but I like to acknowledge where I started with the weapon, and I do still think that it can be used for that purpose. It does a good job at slowly chipping away at an enemy's health so you can do a glory kill. But when it comes to me taking the plasma rifle more seriously, we have to move on and talk about one of its mods. The Heat Blast mod was where I really started to rely on the gun for more than just glory kills. It's a large blast of energy that allows for a quick exit if you get overwhelmed. That's the way I used to use this mod. I would get in demons' business, shove my plasma rifle in their face, and then when things got too hot, I'd nope out of there with the heat blast. And that would hopefully give me a safe recovery. This worked for me, and it still does work, but it isn't my prime strategy anymore. Weak points are a part of Doom Eternal that I used to view very strictly. Because of the way the game introduced them to me, I would only use the precision bolt and the sticky shotgun mod for this purpose. However, now that I'm getting more comfortable with the game, I'm getting more creative and realizing that I can and should use other strategies to break these weak points. The Heat Blast is one of my favorite new ways to shatter an enemy's weak point, specifically when fighting a Revenant or an Arachnotron. It's just so satisfying to essentially hit them with an energy shotgun and shatter their metaphorical windshield. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm gonna say, so you gotta deal with that. I wrote the video. Sorry. This is how I've been playing a lot recently, and it's honestly not always guaranteed to break the weak point, but when it does, I feel way more accomplished than if I used the sticky bomb or the precision bolt. The thing is, the sticky bomb and the precision bolt are very reliable when it comes to destroying weak points, and I love that. I think that's really important to have in the game. Damaging a weak point with these mods can be really satisfying, but now I'm starting to realize that I'm getting more enjoyment out of using the Heat Blast. And I think it has to do with the unreliability. Even if I don't destroy that weak point, I'm having more fun attacking an enemy with the plasma rifle. And again, I want to make it clear, I'm not throwing shade at the sticky bombs or the precision bolt. Sticky bomb might be one of my favorite mods in the game, honestly. Now let's talk about a mod that I'm not super partial to, but that I've found more use out of as time has gone on.
Did somebody say plasma?
Oh my goodness, it's Michael Morbius from the 1990s Spider-Man the Animated Series TV show. What are you doing here?
I heard somebody say plasma. Do you have any plasma for me?
Oh yeah, that's right. For the uninitiated, on the 90s show, they couldn't show the living vampire, consuming blood or anything like that. So they just said that he needed plasma. That was right?
Yeah, it was plasma, yes. Do you have any plasma?
You couldn't, you have teeth either. You had to do it through your hands. Didn't you have, like octopus hands?
I really don't want to talk about my hands. That's like a sensitive subject.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize.
It's okay. We learn from our mistakes.
Anyway, I was talking about, a plasma rifle, in a video game. It wasn't, plasma, like Like the kind of plasma you're talking about. It wasn't that.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I was like, oh, why is he talking about a video game? And then he mentioned plasma, and I'm always like, oh, give me the plasma. You know, I always want more plasma.
No, it's fine. I understand. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'm gonna go search for plasma to absorb through my hands.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were gonna do. Now, initially when I started making this video, I wrote a section about why I don't use the microwave beam very often. However, I decided to push myself to use that microwave beam a little bit more, and I actually got really into it. I even developed a new little strategy. Now, I assume most players who use this mod like to freeze an enemy in place or pop them like a balloon. The balloon option takes too much time for me, so I tend to prefer the freeze in place option. Now, I always knew that I could freeze an enemy using the microwave beam, but until I started experimenting with the mod, I didn't really know what to do with that time. First of all, this can be super useful for halting high priority enemies. Not for long, but you can use it that way to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. But to me, the best thing about the microwave beam is that it allows you to get really close to enemies that would normally swipe you away. For example, the Mancubus is very territorial, and if you get too close to them, they'll make it so that way the ground around them reduces your health. However, with the microwave beam, I can prevent this response for a moment. Now, after that happens, I either swap to the full auto shotgun mod, or I use the blood punch. Do this a couple times, and I can delete a high priority enemy off the screen. You can do this with a couple of enemies, but I found myself using it mostly with the Mancubus and the Dread Knights. I didn't really get much use out of it when fighting Arachnotrons, for example. I've also tried using other weapons after the microwave beam, like the rockets, but the full auto and the blood punch seem to work the best for me. I really love this combo, but I will admit that sometimes it's hard to mix it in. I think if you use this tactic, you need to be very aware of your ammo and the space you have around you, because if you make the wrong move, you could get stuck. Just because of the specific nature of the setup, I think. But when it works, it's insanely satisfying to freeze a demon and then full auto them right in the face. Or right in the teeth cage. Is that a thing that people call faces? I'm gonna start calling it that. Your face is just a teeth cage. It's a cage for your teeth. Let them out. No, actually, you know what? Keep them in. Okay, anyway. That's another thing that I know that this game encourages, using combos. But I never thought that I would be good at or interested in considering these combos, but here I am. I'm really enjoying finding new combos and executing them. And I'm really happy that the game has introduced me to that kind of playstyle. How do you feel about this mod, though? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the microwave beam in the comments below. So at the end of the day, I love the plasma rifle, and that's really significant to me because for a while, I barely touched this weapon, unless I needed it as a replacement for another weapon without ammo. That's another one of the million things that is fantastic about Doom Eternal, that almost everything in the game, even if I'm not into it at first, I feel like I'll eventually be. Everything feels so meticulously thought out that it takes a while for you to appreciate, but when you finally take the time to do so, you're really in for a treat. And I feel like the plasma rifle is that for me, an underappreciated gem that I underestimated for a long time. And with that in mind, I'm excited to discover the next gem that I've overlooked, or to rediscover one that I already use. If you're new to Doom Eternal and you watched this video, thanks for giving it a shot. If anything I mentioned sounded interesting, I highly recommend the game. It's quickly becoming one of, if not my favorite video games ever made. Definitely top 10. Like many of my other favorite video games, I felt like I could just play Doom Eternal's campaign on repeat and get the same fantastic experience. However, with further playthroughs under my belt, I'm starting to learn that I can be really creative with the gameplay. I've slowly started turning up the difficulty and having a lot more fun as a result. The more I play, the more I learn, and the more I learn, the more I enjoy, and the more I'm enjoying the game, I think the better at the game I become. A lot of the times I'm even giving myself soft restrictions, like only giving myself one weapon to use. I had fun making this video, and I'd like to make more videos about the weapons in Doom Eternal in between my bigger videos. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks again so much for watching. If for some reason you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel for more. As regular viewers know, I make a variety of content on my channel, and even though I'm always going to make the videos that I want to, if you like something, let me know, and I'll try to prioritize that kind of content in the future. If you want to watch me play video games live, check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/carrotscraps. And all my other social media, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are all at carrotscraps as well. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. I want to call it the plasma rifle for some reason. I guess I'm just a Fallout fan. I call it a plasma rifle. But when I looked it up, I guess some people call it a plasma gun. But now that I've said it both ways, I've covered my bases. And so I'm correct no matter what. I think that's how that works.